Number 8. Alan and Alex Stokes. In 2021, twin YouTubers Alan and Alex Stokes, both in their early 20s, were sentenced to community service and a year's probation after pleading guilty to charges stemming from faking a robbery. The incident occurred in Irvine, Orange County, California. In October of 2019, the Stokes' videographer filmed the twins as they wore balaclavas and carried duffel bags full of cash, pretending they just robbed a bank. On October the 15th, the pair hailed an Uber and got into the vehicle, claiming that their getaway driver had abandoned them. The driver refused to transport them, and the bystander who'd witnessed the exchange alerted the authorities. When the police arrived at the scene, they ordered the driver out at gunpoint but released him upon realizing he wasn't involved. Officers let the twins go with a warning, but roughly 4 hours later, they allegedly pulled the same prank again, with the emergency services receiving calls about a robbery once more. The brothers uploaded a clip of the prank gone wrong to their YouTube channel, but it has since been deleted. Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer condemned their actions as a twisted attempt to gain more popularity on the internet. He argued that they'd created a high-pressure situation in which someone could have been injured or killed, as officers responding to active robbery reports are instructed to act decisively towards protecting lives. Alan and Alex, who boasted millions of followers on YouTube and TikTok, each faced multiple felony charges that could have resulted in prison sentences of up to 5 years, before they pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor and thus received a much more lenient sentence. Number 7. Gigi Wu. A woman who gained attention on the internet for taking photos on some of Taiwan's tallest mountain peaks while only wearing a bikini suffered a fatal accident in January of 2019. Over the course of several years, 36-year-old Gigi Wu had amassed a large following on Facebook and Instagram through her photos and hiking endeavors. The idea had come to her after losing a bet with a friend in which her punishment was to upload a photo of herself in a bikini atop a mountain. She ultimately came to be known as the Bikini Hiker. According to the Focus Taiwan news channel, over the span of 4 years, Wu had completed more than 100 hikes and, upon reaching the summit, stripped down to reveal about as many swimming outfits. Her climbs hadn't been without incident, and Wu at one point posted a photo showing extensive scratches and bruises on her legs, sustained during a fall. She embarked on what would become her final adventure on January the 11th of 2019. Wu had planned a 25-day solo hike in Yushan National Park, from Nanhua Mountain to Mount Choshi. On January the 19th, more than a week since she'd set off, Wu called a friend via satellite phone to say that she'd fallen into a ravine. The hiker had plummeted a reported 65 feet into a narrow gorge and was unable to move due to the injuries she'd suffered in the fall. She activated her emergency beacon at close to 5,600 feet above sea level. A rescue operation involving Black Hawk helicopters was put together, but poor weather conditions prevented them from reaching Wu's location. As she was trapped on the mountain, temperatures dropped to around 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Roughly 28 hours after she'd activated her beacon, search and rescue teams found Wu, but by that time, she'd succumbed to hypothermia. Number 6. Xiao Qime. In July of 2021, a Chinese social media influencer suffered a fatal fall of roughly 160 feet while she was reportedly filming a video for her following of over 100,000. Xiao Qime, aged 23, worked as a crane operator in Chuzhou in western Xinjiang province. The mother of two documented her experience on social media, appealing to users because she didn't fit the stereotypical image of a crane operator. The tragic incident, which the young woman partially captured on video, unfolded with her dancing and speaking to the camera from what appeared to be her crane cabin. The image then changed to show equipment whizzing by as Qime could be heard screaming in the clip's audio. The chaotic footage ended with a final shot of the crane structure and the sky from a point of view which, in hindsight, suggested someone was lying on the ground. Witnesses reported that after falling from a height nearly equivalent to that of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Qime's body was found with her cell phone in hand. The accident occurred at 5:40 p.m. when most of her co-workers had left the site. As news of Qime's death began to circulate online, commenters paid tribute to her and expressed their condolences. There were, however, a number of users who argued that her tragic demise had been a cautionary incident, highlighting the dangers of being distracted by prospective internet fame while working in a dangerous environment. Number 5. Cassandra Thomas. In February of 2020, aspiring stuntwoman Cassandra Thomas faced a fine of $1,000 to $3,000 along with public backlash for a stunt involving a Montreal bus. The 19-year-old self-confessed adrenaline addict, originally from the French island of Saint Martin in the Caribbean, had amassed several 100,000 followers on Instagram through her stunts. Some of them included rooftoping, dirt bike tricks, and various acrobatic jumps. The stunt that would cause controversy in the province of Quebec saw Thomas hang with one hand from the rear bumper of a Montreal STM bus. The driver was unaware that she was there and continued along the regular route down Rue Sherbrooke. Thomas was thus dragged behind it on her back at speed with only a puffy jacket and a thin layer of snow protecting her from the pavement. The clip rapidly amassed tens of thousands of views after she'd posted it on social media, captioning it, "When you miss your bus." The teenager was subsequently dubbed the Montreal Bus Surfer, while a statement released by STM called her behavior deplorable and dangerous. Thomas had not only risked her health but, as pointed out by several internet commenters, could have inspired others to imitate the stunt and get hurt. She stated in a later interview that she didn't regret her actions, admitting that she'd wanted to gain internet attention from the bus surfing video and then potentially parlay it into stunt work. Number 4. Josephine Garcinski. In March of 2017, a Wisconsin teenager asked her father to take photos of her as she was being arrested for armed robbery, so that she could later post them on social media. 18-year-old Josephine Garcinski had been regularly talking to an unnamed man on Facebook under the alias Josephine King, before agreeing to meet with him at an intersection in Sheboygan on March the 5th. After arriving at the agreed-upon spot, Garcinski invited the man into her car. A short while later, her boyfriend, 27-year-old Curtis Britton, got in the back seat. He pressed a gun to the man's head, and the couple demanded his wallet and cell phone. The victim went to the police, who subsequently identified Garcinski through her Facebook profile and then interviewed her at her father's home. She initially denied knowing Britton, whom she'd reportedly been dating for about a year, but when pressed further, admitted to the armed robbery. As Garcinski was being taken into custody, she asked her father to take pictures of her in handcuffs with the intention of uploading them on Facebook. Britton was also arrested at his home, where officers found marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and 2 BB guns. Both he and Garcinski were charged with felony armed robbery. Number 3. Timothy Wilkes. While filming a prank video he'd hoped would go viral on YouTube, a young man was shot and killed in Tennessee on February the 5th of 2021. Local authorities responded to reports of a shooting in the parking lot of the Urban Air Trampoline Park in Nashville at around 9:25 p.m. Timothy Wilkes, age 20, and a friend, whose identity wasn't released, were shooting a video that involved them approaching a group of people while wielding butcher knives. 23-year-old David Starnes Jr. wasn't in on the fake robbery and thought that he and the group he was with were being attacked. The aspiring YouTubers never got a chance to reveal that it was a prank. Starnes pulled out a handgun and shot Wilkes, who subsequently succumbed to his injuries. No charges were filed in the immediate aftermath, as the former maintained he'd acted in self-defense, believing himself to have been in genuine danger. Number 2. Ava Louis. In March of 2020, in the early stages of coronavirus pandemic, an aspiring internet influencer sparked outrage online through the coronavirus challenge, in which she filmed herself licking an airplane toilet seat. 21-year-old Ava Louis' stunt went viral, and even though it received widespread criticism, there were nevertheless several imitators who started licking toilet seats for fame, risking their health in the process. One 21-year-old from Beverly Hills ended up in the hospital after doing so. In a subsequent video interview with Dr. Phil, Louise confessed that the overall scope of the stunt was clout and claimed she was jealous coronavirus was getting more publicity than her. Louise tried to defend her actions by saying that concerns over the pandemic were greatly exaggerated, while also suggesting she was representing the whole of Gen Z by being unafraid of the virus. When asked by Dr. Phil if the attention was worth potentially infecting someone and killing them, Louise said, "Yeah," before making further claims that the pandemic was blown out of proportions. In the same interview, however, the young woman also revealed that the widely condemned stunt had been partially staged. Louise reported that she'd licked the toilet seat on her sugar daddy's private jet while on her way to Miami for spring break, adding that it had been disinfected beforehand. Number 1. James Patok. In February of 2020, shortly after COVID-19 had been declared a public health emergency of international concern, a Canadian social media influencer carried out a stunt on a flight from Toronto to Jamaica that resulted in the aircraft being turned around. By his own admission, 28-year-old Patok Philippe, whose real name is James Patok, intended to share a video of the so-called prank in hopes of it going viral on Instagram or YouTube. About midway through the flight, he got up and announced that he'd just returned from the Yunnan province, to which he referred as the capital of the coronavirus, adding that he wasn't feeling too well. Roughly 15 minutes later, WestJet flight staff asked him to put on gloves and a mask and told him to move to the back of the airplane. His claims were also shared with the pilot, and a decision was made to turn the airplane back to Toronto. A second flight out was also cancelled in the incident's wake, affecting the travel plans of 243 passengers. Many subsequently condemned Patok's actions as selfish and ignorant. He was assessed by medical experts who found that he was symptom-free, after which he was arrested and charged with mischief. The internet fame seeker has since apologized for the prank and for failing to grasp the seriousness of a global health emergency. Thanks for watching. Would you rather record yourself counting to 100,000 aloud or listening to the same song on repeat for 48 hours straight? Let us know in the comments section below.